Our show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Kaylin Parker of Magnolia Wealth Strategies, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana, Drums Earwear.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. We got a good show for y'all tonight. In about 20 minutes, we're going to have the head coach of the Baker Buffaloes, Coach James Dartez, join us. His crew is off to a 3-0 start, so we got some things to talk about with him. We're going to talk about some games that happened this past weekend also. We're going to give y'all our top 5, but I can't do it alone. I got my 2 co-hosts. You know, I got the one and only VK Jones. What's up, VK?
What's going on, everybody? Like, tag, share, subscribe to the Hash It Out Show on all social media platforms. We're live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, hopefully soon on TikTok. But at the same time, man, continue to support us and log on to the hashitoutshow.com.
And you got the one and only George Peppers. GP, what's happening?
Not too much, man. Big week in sports. I mean, last week of baseball season, playoff races to be decided. VK and I have a little rivalry going. Our teams are actually doing battle as we speak. Big 3-game series. Uh, I left it scoreless early, so we'll see what happens there. And of course, week 4 already in prep football. Week 5 in college football. I think no, week 4 in college football.
Week 5.
Georgia, Alabama. 5. Okay, I was right the first time. Georgia, Alabama. Huge game. NFL week 4. Of course, we're talking about what happened Sunday in the Superdome to New Orleans. Some interesting responses to your Facebook post about that game that I don't know if I want to address, but a couple of them I do want to point out. But that's a lot to uncover. So let's get going.
Let's get going. Speaking of the Saints go down 15-12 to the Philadelphia Eagles. I sat here and told you Jalen Hurts would have a big game. You know, he had 2 turnovers, but he had over 300 yards. And then the Eagles started using Saquon Barkley to run the ball. He had, 147 yards, I believe, rushing, or 167. One of the two, I can't remember. But, Saints offense did fall apart when Eric McCoy did get hurt. So that causes some things. But all in all, was this the real Saints offense that we saw? Is this really what it's supposed to be? Or is what we saw the first 2 weeks what the Saints offense supposed to be, VK Jones?
No, it wasn't the offense that we didn't see the last couple of weeks. I think the game totally changed when McCoy went out, when they shuffled the line, and it seemed like everything was different. We know Philadelphia had a couple of their best players out, but we can see the depth is better for Philadelphia than with the Saints because you notice the protection was not as crisp as we seen the first couple of weeks with that particular lineup there. Not at all. And then also you notice that more of the right side was really, really getting jumbled up because you see that Big Fangio, and give him a lot of credit, making the adjustments, putting his two best defensive tackles in the middle to attack the middle, and knowing that whoever was the guard went to center was not going to be as tough as McCoy. So you know what I'm saying. So like that, you pointed yourself, Mr. Boyd. You didn't totally win. It was a tie. So we're gonna
Oh
say,
damn! Wow.
you know what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out. I'm seeing it, but at the same time, let me continue. But at the same time, I'm like this. The line just was not the same. The depth, and you could just see there's not too much depth with the Saints line comparing to Philadelphia's. It just straight up like it kind of goes down. It just shows there that the Saints has to be healthy. They have to be healthy if they're gonna have a shot. And then also I think the pressure got to Derek Carr more than anything else. He became more nervous more than anything. And then on top of that, Dennis Allen made some very, very bad decisions in certain parts of the ball game more than anything else. But the Saints did everything possible and almost pulled that game out. But just wasn't enough. Yeah, Jalen Hurts had a good game and everything else, but he had to earn it because that defense came. The defense played the you-know-what off. Saquon Barkley, them yards came in the second half when that defense was tired. What else you do to a
I don't
defense?
know. They didn't run the
No,
ball. They ran the
no.
ball 4 times in the first half. VK. I mean, I ain't saying
But
all that.
no, I'm saying all that because most of it came in the second half of the game
They didn't
because the
run the ball
defense
the first
got
half.
tired. No,
They didn't run the ball the first half. VK.
they probably didn't run the ball in the first.
They didn't. VK.
Wait. So you say, hold on. How many times did Philadelphia ran the ball in the first half?
4 times.
They ran 4 times in the first half.
Four
Okay.
times.
No,
Saquon.
I'm just,
4 times.
I'm just
Saquon.
asking. I'm just asking to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't run the ball, but they just knew something was up in the second half. I give Philly a lot of credit that they made that adjustment, especially with the defense getting that tired. They did the right thing by running the ball because hey, defense did everything they could, but at the same time, how long you gonna keep intact more than anything else. But at the same time, Saints got work to do, and the Saints is gonna have to get healthy. That's the only way they're gonna have a shot. If they don't, things is not gonna look too good. That's just how I look at it. But it was a hell of a game on Sunday.
Yeah, Jordan. Talk about the interception, the block punt. 4 downs, the Eagles went for it and didn't get it. And all the Saints get out of that is 12 points. That is key. George Peppers, I'll let you go.
What a start, because there's a lot to decipher from this game Sunday. But none of you have mentioned the 3rd and 16. Who the hell calls man on 3rd and 16? What
Dummy.
the hell are you doing? 3rd and 16, the conversion that Philadelphia got on 3rd and 16, where the Saints crashed into it, looked like the Little Giants from the movie, where they just couldn't get out their own way. 3 dudes crashing into each other, and I think was it Goddard that got the catch?
Goddard.
Yeah.
Was it Dallas Goddard? And look, that was good for me on fantasy. I mean, I won my fantasy with him, so I'm good on that. But that's inexcusable. On 3rd and behind the sticks, you got to get off the field. And then the inexplicable decision to not go for the tying field goal, 39 yards. Grupe's got the leg to bang it. I get the consistency. You may crap about it and all that, but for me, I saw a bad sign in the first half. And by the way, Eric McCoy is out 6 to 8 weeks. He's had groin surgery. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. So they're going to have to figure something out. Here's your answer, Coach Allen. Cesar Ruiz was a 2-time All-American at center at Michigan. Put him back there at center. Lucas Patrick, stick him on the right side and see what you got with him. Or maybe Saliveri. However you're going to do it. Make it work. Anyway, early in the first half, when Derek Carr laid a beautiful ball for Rashid Shaheed, the first drop that he had, he split the secondary, got a step ahead, put that thing in the breadbasket, and Shaheed couldn't finish it. The second one, okay, I give Shaheed a little bit of okay, because the defenders were mugging him on that play, but they didn't do anything illegal. There were spots where the Saints could have won this game and should have, but Jalen Hurts is that dude. And people at work were asking me, who do I like? I said, I'll be honest with you. As good as the Saints have been, I'm picking Philadelphia. I picked Philadelphia in every pick that I made. The Eagles, I picked. I thought they were the better team. They were the best team the Saints have played in the first 3 weeks. They're better than Dallas. And I thought Jalen Carter was a disruptor Sunday. So much so that he got into it with the Saints fans, which I thought was pretty stupid on his part. They had to restrain him play.
He got into it with Tyron.
Yeah, he did. So slow down with that.
Tyron didn't want none of that. Trust me. Go ahead.
So with that being said, the Saints had their chances Sunday. Good teams find a way to win. The Saints are not they're not that team. And for all of you that thought out there, oh, it's the Super Bowl. Well, y'all sound like Cowboys fans. Stop it. After 2 weeks, y'all sound like the Dallas Cowboys fans. And how'd they do Sunday? Oh, that's right. The Ravens got them. Almost blew it, but they did. The Saints are an average team right now, and they are underdogs in Atlanta Sunday. Now, the interesting dynamic for this Sunday is this. Hurricane Helene will have made landfall on Thursday or Friday. That thing is going to be in Georgia at some point this weekend. How does that affect the Saints' travel plans going into Atlanta? I know it's a dome stadium, but you're still going to have a strong tropical storm by the time it gets there because it's going to be a major 3 or 4. So I want to see what the Saints' contingency is for that game Sunday as far as travel goes. But they are getting points right now. They are a 1.5 underdog. And for all of you that they're going to get the Falcons, they're going to get the Falcons. Y'all better pay attention. They beat Philadelphia at the Link. They beat them there, fair and square. And they lost Sunday on, to me, a couple of questionable calls late. Seems like Kansas City's catching that Roger Goodell break, I think, in the last couple of weeks, with the PI against Cincinnati. That was a farcical pass interference against Cincinnati. That was a horrible call. Should not have been called at all. In that spot, he would have had to mug him.
That was pass interference. What are you talking about? That was pass interference. He
against the Bengals
early. All over his back before the ball got there.
It was a simultaneous contact.
No, not
it was simultaneous, bro. I mean, I disagree.
You can sit here and say against Atlanta that was pass interference against Kansas City. Yes,
it was actually defensive holding.
Holding, pass interference, both of them. You can call both of them. But Cincinnati, though, that was the right call. That was the right call.
Point being, the Falcons are not a team to be disrespected. They have played competitive. They beat Philadelphia, which you couldn't do in your house. Now you got to go to their house on Sunday. And I guarantee you the Snickers are going to be saying, oh, look, the Saints are catching points. They're going to get it this week. Slow down. DJ talking noise already. But whatever. I mean, look, we'll see what happens Sunday. 12 o'clock kickoff, Fox. We'll see. If you're asking me right now.
Let me jump in here now.
I wanted to ask. I wanted to add something.
You gonna wait? Go ahead.
I just want. Go, dog. I'm not even trying to argue with you.
No. Nobody arguing. Nobody arguing.
I was trying to say something.
Go ahead, JB. I want to hear what you got to say now.
I want to answer Joseph's question. Our fan got a question. He said, "Do you think the Miami Dolphins are in trouble, or do you think it's too soon to panic in Miami?" Y'all in trouble, bro. Y'all in trouble.
Big trouble. I'll answer that for you. Tua needs to retire. Skylar Thompson bruised ribs Sunday. They're done. And Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer may be on their way out after this year.
They need to go ahead and try to make that trade to get Jameis.
Wait, is there a rumor about James? I missed that.
Man,
there's a trade.
I'm making that move now. You need a quarterback.
You do. Because Thompson's got ribs, and he's not going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Go ahead, VK. You can ask George your question, right?
Well, Joe, I'm gonna make it real quick. The one thing I'm gonna say is it's kind of a disagreement. The Shaheed first catch, I get what you're saying, George, but I looked at the whole game and the replay. Derek Carr short-handed him a bit, and I'm gonna be honest. Yes,
no, he didn't. It was in stride.
Yes, he did. No, it wasn't.
No,
yes, he did.
It was in stride. That ball was in the wheelhouse, bro.
No, George. That ball was in
his wheelhouse.
George,
stop it.
But look at George. Look at the.
I did.
Listen to me. Look at
He
from that
mad now,
game. No, no,
JB.
no, no, no. Hold on. Look at the replay from
I did.
last week from what Carr connected to him. That ball was thrown right, and the protection was there. The protection was not there, and he threw that thing a little short. I'm telling you, he should have caught the ball. I do agree, but that ball was not to the spot where he's supposed to go get it.
I'm glad he said it that way
not
because now it just makes me right because you just said he should have caught it. Ball was in his the ball was in his wheelhouse,
I
but it was
agree
still
that
catchable.
it was catchable, but it wasn't thrown to the spot that he can go get it.
Got his hands.
The DB caught up to him. If the DB
No, he
doesn't
didn't.
catch up
That's the
to him,
second
that's a
one you're
legal
talking about, not the
touchdown.
first one. That's the
I'm
second
talking
one.
about. Oh, the second one. I'm talking about the
No,
first
the
one.
first one is the one I'm talking about.
Okay,
The second one. Yeah,
Now, we good now.
Now go to timeout. Go to timeout.
No. You the one said. Hold up. You the one
I
did
said
say.
the first. I specifically said the first one.
All right, guys.
Okay.
All right.
We good. Go ahead.
Enoch has a
That question. That's an easy answer. No, they're not.
You say
That
no.
question.
I say too soon to tell. Too soon to tell.
I'm
gonna say no.
I'm gonna say they. I'm not gonna say better, but I'm saying they are as good. They are a veteran team, and right now Detroit is playing like it right now.
Okay,
I'll say this.
Quickly, we gotta go to LSU. We got a couple minutes left. All right, LSU defeats UCLA 34-17. They were tied at halftime, 17-17. Quickly, your thoughts about that game. George, you go first.
It's inexcusable that game was even locked up at halftime like that. After what Indiana did those people at the Rose Bowl, 42-13, and LSU, you're supposed to dog walk that team at halftime. You're supposed to have 20 to 24 points, and you were dead even tied. Gave them people false hope, and then you got rid of them in the second half. Inexcusable. This LSU team's got work to do. They get South Alabama this week. Defensively, they're struggling, and they suffered the biggest loss of their season. Harold Perkins is out with a torn ACL. That's a humongous loss. And no, I didn't take LSU to cover. I wouldn't lay 20 points on them against anyone. But LSU defensively is a mess. It's a complete mess. I think they need time to regroup this personnel grouping. I don't think they have good players on defense except Perkins. I think they got okay players, but there's not that dude that's like, we better watch him. We better watch him. They don't have that dude, VK. I think they're just okay. And okay ain't going to cut it in this SEC.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. LSU has a lot of work to do. I think good adjustments by Coach Baker in the second half. That they were much better on the second half more than anything else. And hopefully they can take that and put it, to get better from it. That's what I'm hoping from this defense. But they still have a lot of work to do offensively. Still got to get some kind of consistency more than anything else, But like I said, the LSU's got to get everything together at one time if they're going to have a chance in the SEC. And the SEC just gets tougher and tougher every week. The majority of the top 5 is SEC teams. It's going to be interesting in itself. The whole it is no cakewalk to any games. No cakewalks to any games. I know some people took shots at me with Vanderbilt. They came this damn close.
And ruined me. Yeah, I know.
That's just, I'm saying that for a reason.
I get it.
I'm saying that because everybody is going to play their best. There's no cakewalks in this league. Definitely this season, there's no cakewalks.
Let me ask y'all both a question. They get South Al this week, right? Should be another W, right?
Yes.
Ole Miss is next week, right?
No, Ole Miss is 2 weeks after.
2 weeks, okay. Raise your hand, because that was considered a swing game before the year started. But raise your hands right now if you think LSU, even at home, beats Ole Miss the way they're playing. No. The answer is no, right? I mean, am I wrong, Jared? No,
I don't think you're wrong, George, at all. But knowing we have lived in this state this long,
Coach Randall
he has seen
what's
some
happening, man? What's
strange
happening?
stuff at Tiger Stadium. we see some strange stuff. So
Of course.
Ole Miss is the better team, and Ole Miss should get the win. But we have seen some strange things in Tiger Stadium.
Alston, don't say that too soon,
Just saying.
Alston. Don't say that too soon, Alston.
I wouldn't say that too soon either.
I mean, Nichols, we thought people said Nichols would have been a cakewalk. Oh, that was a fight for a first half. So was UCLA. So I wouldn't say that.
I think there's no cakewalks for LSU. Absolutely. I think, yeah, that Ole Miss is a big swing game, but at the same time, Ole Miss right now is really playing well, and Saturday is going to be an interesting test. So we'll see how much their game turns up and be like, uh-oh. We already know what the top is with Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and all them other teams. So we definitely going to see from that.
Enoch says it wouldn't shock him if LSU found a way to upset Ole Miss at home like they did 2 years ago. I mean, I don't see it happening. I'm sorry, Enoch. I don't see it happening this time. Yeah.
Not gonna say it might not, but who knows? Who knows?
And all I know, it was a good weekend for me because my Michigan Wolverines knocked off USC, something LSU didn't do. Just saying. And with a quarterback that threw for 32 yards in the game, and they still found a way to win. Defensively, they were big in that fourth quarter, and they were able to get stops that they needed. 27-24 winning that game. Do I think they'll win the Big Ten? Hell no. Oregon and Ohio State are probably going to run that roost this year. So one of those two teams going to win it. But Georgia-Bama Saturday, who y'all got?
Alabama.
You think?
I know.
Because see me, I'm like this. Give me the team which quarterback is going to be the bigger impact. And right now, if you're asking me, it's a coin flip. But I would lean to Bama. Jalen Milroe will make plays on his feet. Carson Beck is a standstill drop back classic passer. But give me Bama close, VK. I got Bama over Georgia.
I would love to go with Bama, but I got a sick feeling them dogs, especially defensively, is going to slow things down. They got a fast defense. Milroe will be a factor, but at the same time, that's a good defense Georgia got. So
we know.
I'm going with the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
The dogs
it's a good defense. It's a good defense that they have, but this offense, which is still coming together, is eventually going to be one of the best offenses ever at Alabama, because Kalen DeBoer is an offensive mind. And we saw what Salk and Lane Kiffin did at Alabama. Kalen DeBoer going to do magic with that offense. And I'm telling you, you're going to see some things this Saturday night, because I already believe Alabama and Bama being at home definitely will get the win. This guy right, Mr. Thompson, betting the house on Bama. DJ 1-3.
Milroe is what? Well, Milroe is a sophomore or junior this year.
I think Milroe is a senior.
Senior.
He's a senior.
He's a senior.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll just making sure, because
we know
because you said Kalen DeBoer, but I'm like, this is just a 1 year together, but I know he's going to still put something together regardless on the program. So
could be a chance for a signature. Could be a chance for a signature win.
So once he, like I said, a chance to win the Heisman, and this could be the first statement win, like George said, signature win. This could be the first statement win of the season for Alabama. I mean, they beat Wisconsin, but you beat number 2 ranked Georgia Saturday
at home.
At home,
and look at it like this: Kalen DeBoer has won everywhere he's been. But having to replace the dean of college football coaches and Nick Saban, he might, you'll never forget Nick, but this will take a heck of a big step if he does beat Georgia on Saturday night.
I think
he beats them.
I think Milroe will take the lead in the Heisman race if Alabama does win. Right now, the person who is leading the Heisman race, and I don't care what anybody says, Travis Hunter. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care.
No,
dude,
man.
Travis, dude, I'm sorry.
Are you serious?
Dude, I'm sorry. What we're seeing with Travis Hunter, and I don't care if you nod your head, is freaking amazing.
I was thinking like this too. wait
is
and see
freaking
how wrong you are.
amazing. It's amazing. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel
Travis
about it.
Hunter. Travis Hunter. George, who leading the Heisman race right now? Tell me, please.
Me. No, wait, I'm kidding.
I like that. That's a
No,
good answer, dog.
I know. Look, that thing is wide open. I don't know. I mean,
That's why.
I
That's
don't
why.
think it's an obvious
I,
answer.
I'm gonna tell you who leading the Heisman race right now. You ready?
Shador?
You ready?
No.
Damn.
Cam Ward out of Miami. That's who leads the Heisman race. Ain't no goddamn Travis Hunter. Get out of here, man. Stop it.
Come on, man. Cam,
Stop it.
Ward's gonna.
you're going upon one big performance, which was great.
What
You're
big
going
performance?
upon one
He
big
has a
performance.
big performance every game. What are you talking about?
I know every game, but dude,
Okay, if you know every game, why you saying one?
Hold on.
Come on now.
Listen. The Heisman. Let me tell you something. I get it. The Heisman.
No, you don't. Apparently, you don't.
Hold on. Let me explain. That's your problem. You gotta let me explain stuff.
No, that's your problem.
No,
You think you right, you're not right about everything. That's your problem.
I let you talk. You let me talk. All right?
No, I'm still talking.
Go ahead. You talk and say
I'm
what you
still
gotta say.
talking.
Now, say.
Nah, want me to talk? See, that's my problem. No, that's your problem.
Say what you gotta
That's your
say.
problem.
Say what you gotta say.
You're
Then
right
I'll
about
say what I gotta
everything.
say.
You're not right about everything, bro. But Cam Ward is leading every game. He's had a big game. How you gonna say Travis Hunter leading the Heisman Trophy race? No, he's not. Not even close. And he's not even gonna be a finalist, bro. Cam Ward gonna lead Miami to a freaking ACC championship game, ACC title, prior to playoffs, have one of the best stats at the quarterback this year. Cam Ward will be a Heisman finalist.
He does
that is who is leading right now.
He does have great stats, but only had one true win. You gotta add the stats. You got listen.
What true win Colorado had? What true win? Tell me right now. What true win Colorado had?
Don't say Baylor.
Please, bro. Don't say Colorado State.
I'm not saying no. It ain't just about true win. It's about his performance. He's on this field, putting it up on both sides of the freaking ball. Come on, man. You cannot ignore that.
Nobody ignoring it.
That.
Nobody ignoring it, but everybody see the reality of freaking what Cam Ward is doing.
Now, Cam Ward, knew Cam Ward was good. He was good. Like Brogy said, good point. We remember him at Washington State. He was really good at Washington State. And it's kind of not surprising what he's doing in Miami. And the first time Miami had a true quarterback in a long, long time. I hope Cam Ward continues.
George, let me just say what some of the comments are coming on over here and in my phone. DJ13, Cam Ward, Alston, thank you, JB, Enoch. Cam Ward is a beast. DJ13, 5 miles. Dudes in my text. VK tripping. Cam Ward balling. Hey kid, you right.
Hey, haters gonna hate. I don't care.
Nobody hating. They see the truth. They see the truth.
When you look at this, I'm sorry. When you look at this objectively, okay. When we look at this objectively, I look at Cam Ward and I see a dude that has provided a massive spark to the Miami Hurricanes offensively. He is the quintessential difference maker. He has proven that his time at Washington State and Pullman wasn't flukish. He's got Miami playing top-notch ball. Now, granted, they struggled early this past week at South Florida, but they were able to dismiss them in the third quarter, got rid of them. And Travis Hunter is an electrifying player. That is a fact. But to say that he's leading when you put them one-on-one, I don't know. I probably myself, I would, look, the Heisman Trophy is driven by quarterbacks. How, damn, Austin. Boy, when he going in hard on you, Mr. Jones. But it is what it is,
folks.
I feel you. Normally the Heisman, if a quarterback's having a top-notch year, he wins the Heisman unless other said player, non-QB, is special. Like Charles Woodson back in '97 when he beat Peyton out for the Heisman. Okay, when he did that, you might have that situation if Travis Hunter continues to ball out and if Colorado wins games in the Big 12. All right, they beat Baylor Saturday on a miracle. It took a miracle to get that game to overtime. A Hail Mary. And
hey, that could have been a Heisman moment if Travis Hunter caught that ball.
But he didn't. I'll tell you what I'm impressed with right now is Arch. And I mean, yeah, it was against Monroe, but he showed some poise after an early mistake. He's been really, really good the last couple of games. And with Quinn Ewers not, uh, with Quinn Ewers out for an extended period of time with an oblique, Arch got a chance to do some real damage, especially with Oklahoma. Well, I want to say Oklahoma, but after what Tennessee did them, Texas should dog walk Oklahoma in a couple of weeks when they play that Red River game. I mean, Tennessee beat the brakes off them people Saturday. And
Um,
go ahead.
um, as me and VK were hashing it out here on the Hash It Out show. Big iPhone 75. Travis Hunter is a legit Heisman candidate. Yeah, we're not denying that. We're not
At
denying that.
all. At
Not
all.
at all. S88. What's y'all score predictions for John Everett versus Bird? Come back tomorrow, and we will
Yeah,
give
come
you
back tomorrow.
our score predictions tomorrow for John Everett versus Bird. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. And we're gonna tell you. We're gonna let you know who's gonna win that game also.
Hmm.
As we sit here, Coach Dartez will be with us in a couple of minutes. I just texted him; he's coming, so we'll be patient with him. But yeah, so VK got Travis Hunter. I got Cam Ward right now.
But I ain't
Jalen
but I
Merrill's
but
gonna be
I
in
ain't
that
gonna
day.
but I ain't gonna lie, Cam. Miami does have another couple showcase games coming up, and I'll tell you, if Cam step it up, he will shatter and probably really lead the Heisman. But if Monroe has a big game Saturday, he'll probably take charge of being
Austin.
leading the Heisman race. There's no doubt.
Austin,
Mhm.
your offense is an overrated quarterback. Your defense is not as good as you think it is. Oklahoma will get absolutely pistol whipped against Texas in a couple of weeks. Texas has too many athletes on that offensive side of the ball. It's going to work your defense over. They'll hang 35 to 40 points in their sleep on y'all. Y'all not
They,
that good.
I'm gonna say this: they should, but we have seen many Red River shootouts that it
Not this one.
wasn't what you think it was.
Not this one.
I know it might not be this one, but I'm just saying.
It's a fact, George.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
right.
telling
He's right
you,
on this one, George.
we
He
didn't say
is. I'm not arguing that.
we didn't seen some funny. You talking about LSU at home Tiger Stadium, Red River shootout? We didn't see some stuff in that game. You thinking
Yeah.
one team is better? All of a sudden, I remember one year Oklahoma was really, really good, and the Texas team was kind of average. And that Texas team stepped up, played, went down to the wire, but Oklahoma barely won the game out field goal. Bruh, it's crazy stuff in the Red River shootout.
let
But
me answer.
we'll see
Let
about
me
that.
answer Z Cheese right quick. So Z Cheese, here's what we got so far. Our game of the week is St. Charles Catholic versus De La Salle. On the call, VK Jones, George Peppers. So who's going to LCA Friday night? As of right now, me. I got to make a call to y'all, athletic director, to see how Lafayette Christian deals with the media. Do they put me on a list, or I show my badge and I get in? That's what I got to do. Got to make a phone call to y'all AD and get all that straightened out. I plan on being there, my brother, with my Hash It Out Show T-shirt on where you can find me. But I do plan on being there this Friday night. So I want to enjoy one of the best atmospheres in the state.
And you and Z Cheese will finally get to meet. I don't know if you know him already. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm gonna meet him.
you probably get to meet him. So
I'll meet
we'll
him
see.
that day.
There
Yep,
you go. There you
I'll
go.
meet him that day.
You know, but dude, it's been really good to talk about college. I mean, over the weekend, it was interesting with all these state schools playing. Southern with the
Oh, bro.
great comeback on Prairie View and getting the win. And I got to see South Dakota State live, and they are no joke. And I ain't gonna lie, they kind
Mhm.
of you didn't see too much of a passing game because the way Southeastern was trying to really force things on the perimeter, the run game was big time for South
I got
Dakota State on Saturday.
on the way back from South Plaquemines. VK was telling me that he was going to Hammond. And I said, I don't know why. I thought South Dakota State was going to dog walk Southeastern. As good as Frank Selfo is offensively, South Dakota State's a two-time national champion with athletes. Southeastern don't have that kind of athletes on their roster. And I thought they would come in here and do that. 41-0. I'm not surprised they beat the brakes off them people like that. And look, Frank Cephalo's team is going to be fine when they get to Southland play. They'll be fine. They just, they tested themselves a couple of weeks ago, beat Eastern Washington, the team with the red field. That's a very good team. But South Dakota State's like the North Dakota State team from a few years back. They're next level
Mm-hmm.
good. So I thought that they weren't, to me, I thought they didn't have a chance. They would have needed an apocalyptic craziness to have any kind of chance. Maybe the team gets kidnapped and gets stuck at the hotel or something for them to win. But look, Southeastern's going to be fine.
I think it is going to help them more than anything else.
It
I
is.
think I think for yourself, you were right, but at the same time, I'm a hope dealer, and my thing is, I'm going to a game regardless. If a team is that good, okay, cool. I would like to see it in person, but my hope is let's have a great game. If you come up big in the second half, fourth quarter is over, okay, cool. I
All
would
right.
like to get my money's worth. That's all it
Let
is.
me let me stop you right there, VK, as we transition now. So I was asked to broadcast a game in Baker, Louisiana, with my good friend Jordan Taylor from Under the Lights, and I said, "Yeah, I'm going to the Tulane game. When I leave the Tulane game in Lafayette, I'll stop by." Never been to Baker, Louisiana a day in my life. Been all over Baton Rouge. Was at school at LSU, and showed up to Baker, and it was actually their homecoming game. It was their homecoming game, and tell you what, man, the atmosphere was great. They wound up playing
Jefferson Rise.
Jefferson Rise, and it was a great ball game from start to finish, where Baker defeated Jefferson Rise 31-30. And he was in the lobby. Let's see if we get him back. He's coming. 31-30. And a great ball game in itself. And I was happy to be there. And the atmosphere with the band and the Baker crowd was great. There he is. So our guest for today, he is the head coach of the Baker Buffaloes. We have the one and only coach, James Dartez. Coach Dartez, what's going on? How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing well, man. How about yourself, man?
Oh, doing great, Coach. We're happy to have you. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yes, sir, definitely. Let's get right to it. I read that a guy by the name of Mike Roach meant a lot to you. Go ahead and
Yeah.
tell us about that.
Oh man, that's my coaching mentor, man. Coach Roach actually recruited me out of high school. He was the defensive coordinator at Grambling State University. I ended up going to down to Southern to play for Coach Pete Richardson. And when my time was up at Southern University, I ended up always wanted to coach. I never was the kid that didn't know what I wanted to do. And I talked to my advisor, Coach Hightower, and he said, "Hey man, go down to the lab school. Man, they play some pretty good ball down there, and tell them that you're interested in getting into coaching." Man, I get down there and I meet Mr. Kevin Augustine. He says, "Hold on, I'm gonna get the head coach for you, Coach Roach." And that name just stuck a bell to me. And when he walked out, he saw me say, "Man, you look familiar." I said, "Coach, you look familiar." And we started talking. And once I told him I was from Opelousas, and he's like, "Man, I remember you." And man, he gave me a chance, and that he probably shouldn't have given a kid, but man, I'm forever thankful for the lessons that he taught me, and the reason why we coach this game, and coaching it the right way and doing it for the right reason. So man, I'm always in forever in debt to Coach Roach.
In June of 2023, you was hired as the head coach of Baker
Yes, sir.
Buffaloes. Tell us about the trials and tribulations of becoming a head coach in June.
Yeah, man. It was less than ideal to say the least. When I got there, we counted. It was 88 days to kick off of week one. We had 88 days. Some of the kids didn't know that they had hired a coach. So the first week on the job, I was literally just working the phones. I was calling parents, introducing myself over the phone, letting them know that we did in fact have a new head coach. My first actual practice, first workout, we had 8 kids showed up. And we worked every single day. It didn't matter if it was 8, whether it was 11. We were going to work. Anybody that wanted to work was more than welcome to show up. And then the word got out. Through word of mouth, kids telling other kids, "Hey man, we got a coach, man. Now, we were out here working." And before you know it, by the time we got to July, we was 22, and by opening day, we was at a full 30 on the roster.
That's awesome. Your first year, you guys go 4-6. At the end of the season, what was the message to your kids?
The season mantra was finished. There were 3 or 4 games we was right there. We lost in overtime to East Iberville. We was tied up going in that. I think the third end of the third quarter with East Feliciana. We had our chances in games. We were right there, but again, we hadn't learned how to win just yet. Coming in late, trying to, and my hat goes off to these kids. We come in with 88 days for a varsity football game. They had to learn a whole new offense, a brand new defense, different personalities on their coaching staff. Just the way practice was structured, different things that we're going to implement as far as culture and the certain things that I just got to have in the program. And these kids took it, they took it in stride, and they met every challenge, head on. So wasn't the ideal situation to say the least. But like I told the kids, man, just keep fighting, and we will live by TTP. Just trust the process. This is, everybody lives in this microwave society where you can get likes and love on, at the click of a button. That's not how things are done. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, and consistency. You can't just be good one day. You can't be great one day. You have to get up and punch that clock every single day if you want real results.
That's right. That is exactly right, Coach. Um, Back in 2016, the Great Flood of Baton Rouge happened, and Baker High School was tragically affected, and they had to move into the middle school for quite some time.
Correct.
Before school started, you guys moved into a brand new campus. Tell us about that transition of moving to your brand new campus.
Oh man, that one like that was awesome. This is my 14th year in education, and I've never been in a building less than 50 years old. So I was awestruck as well. And I'm from Opelousas, Louisiana, so I identify with the small community of Baker, and I know how important that community morale is when the high school is rocking, when you're having a good football season, you got basketball, the band is playing on Friday night. That uplifts the whole community. That was taken from this community for 8 years.
Yeah,
We have a lot of kids that parents went to Baker and uncles and aunties went to Baker, and they never got a chance to walk those halls. Those kids, a couple of my seniors last year, they say they felt that they got robbed of the actual high school experience because they was in a middle school for 8 years. And it was a perfect storm because the Great Flood happens in 2016, and 4 years later, COVID happens. So not only does this natural disaster, a disease happen, and more it gets that it will Baker get back to being Baker. It gets further and further and further away. But to see the love and the community support of when they walked into that building, because we had a 2 day unveiling. We had a community pep rally in the stadium, and then the next day we had a ribbon ceremony. It was packed on both days. It was standing room only, and just to see the pride that the Baker residents showed in this new building was just something to behold. Had watching the kids just be filled with excitation walking into the school from the first time. The football team, we helped the teachers move in, so we got the sneak peek. So just to see the kids walk around just awestruck, man, it was something I won't forget.
before I pass it on to Mr. VK Jones, you guys are 3-0 right now.
Yes, sir.
Had a tough ball game with Jefferson Rise, and you spoke about earlier about learning how to win. You guys were down in the fourth quarter. Talk about your team overcoming adversity at that time and getting the win against Jefferson Rise.
One thing that we always talk about as far as what our program stands on, and we call it the ABCs: accountability, getting better each day, consistency, discipline, and the last thing is mental toughness. We pride ourselves in being mentally tough. One thing that we notice and we call back to in film, When they scored that touchdown and 2-point conversion with under 4 minutes left to go, nobody on the sideline put their head down. We tell our kids, and it may sound harsh, we don't care about you as football players. We care about you as young men. Adversity is going to happen in your life. What you going to do when you reach adversity to your life and your kids looking to you for something? You can't say, I don't know. You can't just shut down and put your head down and can't figure it out. You have to battle through it. So we just use football as those building blocks. But I harken back to that after the game. I told the kids last year we was in a situation where we was down on the road and we lose in overtime. This year we was down on the road at Glen Oaks and we won in triple overtime. So that right there, learning how to win, learning how to after being so close last year, now we learning how to close that door against Jefferson Rival to a very good football team where we battled back and forth tooth and nail, and they had a very good offense. They moved the football at will. When it was under 3 minutes to go, the offense put a drive together and punched it in. And the defense, when we needed the two biggest plays, we got two back-to-back sacks on third and fourth down. That right there is complementary football. That right there is building, and like I told the kid, that is building something special as far as being a dang on good football team go moving forward.
VK.
Coach Dartez, man, how you doing? And thank you for joining us on the show and everything else.
Yes,
And
sir.
it seems like you really building something that was really good way back in the day. But I know the project was not easy, trying to not just rebuild a very good football program, but just trying to revitalize a community in itself. Was that, did you know more than anything when you took the job that this was what you were going to be facing?
Yes, sir. Uh, well, I got my coaching start with Southern Lab, and at Southern Lab, we played Baker in spring games. And then when me and myself and Coach Roach went to Madison Prep, we continued playing those games against Baker. So I always knew the talent. I always knew the hometown feel there. My uncle was actually married to a woman from Baker, so my aunt Renee. So when I was coming up younger, I would hear them talk about Baker. I've gone to a Baker game when I was young, and it's just a full circle experience now. So I understood the totality of it. Me and my dad, we restore cars in our off time. So, and I knew going into this what we call the off the frame restoration. We was gonna have to roll up our sleeves and we'd have to dig and go through some things that may need to be thrown away. We may have to throw a few nuts and bolts away, but we were ready for the job. And hats off to my coaching staff that saw my vision. And like I say, sometimes you don't have to see what I see. Just make sure we're looking in the same direction. And they bought into my direction. We say the same message to the kids. The kids have bought in, and again, we knew it was a rebuilding process, but we knew we were in for. And we're fortunate that we are this far in the process, and we want to just continue getting better each and every day and every year.
You mentioned a very familiar name, Michael Roach, Southern University, especially getting the Madison Prep football on the map more than
Yes, sir.
anything else. You know what I'm saying? So that's a huge name that you are associated with more than anything else. And talking with a lot of people that I know through Southern University and stuff like that, that is a huge name, and I know he meant so much to you.
Yes, sir.
The next question I have, you go 4-6, but the progress from there to now to 3-0, more than anything else, what happened in the off season? Did more kids come out and came out and played and got the word out, seeing that okay, we see we have a team that's kind of improving, but we want to take it to the next level and anything, or a lot. I think you might have had a lot of veteran kids came back and felt like, hey, let's turn it up. What happened in the offseason to get this team to 3-0 right now?
Well, you know what? It was a combination of both, but I have to rely on the guys that came back. We had a roster of 30 kids last year. We graduated 6 seniors. We brought every single kid back on the roster. We had some guys that came in off the halls that say, "Hey, man, we see what's going on. Man, the kids constantly talking about it." Uh, it was a different feel. When I said in the interview, I told him I was like, I may not be for everybody, but I'm gonna do right by the kids. And everybody knows the first and foremost for me, it's about the kids. Whatever we do, it's about my guys. However we can make them better, that's where it starts and stops. I tell my coaches, I don't care how much football you know, if you're not here to make these young men, then you're in the wrong profession. I tell my parents, if your kid is under me for 3 or 4 years and the only thing they learn is football, I did your kid a disservice. So the first thing I always do is I'm going to be here for the kids. I know what this game can do, and I know how we can use this game to change lives through free education. That's what I preach in this game. So and the kids bought into it. You know, I tell them I'm gonna always shoot you straight. You may not like what I have to say, but I'm gonna always be upfront, honest about it. I don't care if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior. If you can play, you can play. And I believe that every tub got to stand on his own bottom. That's what my grandmother taught me. We don't have people that just sit around at the game and just eat sandwiches and ride with it. We call those EWRs, eat with the team, watch the game, and ride the bus. We don't have those. Everybody got to work. Everybody got to pick up that lunch pail and go to work. We had a couple of guys that went down on Friday night. We had no hesitation putting our backups in there because we know they got quality reps at practice. We know they're attentive in the film room. We know they're attentive in the meetings. So we always know that our guys are ready to go.
I definitely hear you, and that's huge to hear that from a coach itself who holds accountability for not just himself and the coaching staff, but to make sure the kids are set up for success. And you
Yes,
gotta
sir.
love it. Talking about your players, you got a couple players that's really have stepped up for you. And Malik August, Xavier Love, Roy McBride, and Jalen Williams. Tell us about how big these players have been stepping up for you, especially for the Baker Buffaloes.
Man, those four kids. First of all, let me say they're phenomenal young men. When I from those were my juniors last year, and like I say, those are the guys that were willing to prove themselves almost more than anybody. Those guys didn't miss workouts. Those guys were more attentive than a lot of guys that may have been above them. I'll start off with number two, Malik August, the dynamic quarterback. Man, that kid, he wants to be great. He doesn't just want to be good. He doesn't want to get the rep right. He wants to be dominant. He wants to be great. He takes coaching well, and he's a team first guy. We go down to Xavier Love, who the big bruiser. We call him the high school Derrick Henry. 6 foot, 220 pounds, and loves to go downhill. He hurt his foot in the second quarter where he missed the rest of the game. But he was on the side of me like he was my grad assistant. Hey, coach, man, look, the line slanting this way, man. When we run the ball, run it this way, encouraging his teammates. Hey, man, we got this. Let's keep it going. Roy McBride, who's our leading receiver, but in week one, he caught three interceptions and dropped two picks. So, you know, he's a phenomenal guy on both sides of the football. And Jalen Williams, guy you can't tackle in a phone booth. All these guys were phenomenal athletes when I got here. But what they stepped up is their leadership. They stepped up on their program expectations. They stepped up themselves as far as being more accountable to not only themselves, but to their teammates and to their teachers. And again, I couldn't be hats off to those guys and into taking on what the coaching staff is trying to impute in them, and they're giving it back to us tenfold. I tell them all the time, we know who work in the summer. You ain't got to tell us who works in the summer. It's not about the Instagram videos. It's not about your Snapchat or your TikTok following. On Friday nights, we're gonna know who is dogging it in conditioning. We're gonna know who was skipping in the weight room, and our guys are showing that they were attentive in the weight room. They was ready in the film sessions, and they're putting it on display on Friday nights. And we couldn't be more proud as a coaching staff.
Actually, this last question, and then George Peppers will take over with the questions. Y'all know you when you got here, and you been your family and people from Baker and everything else. You probably know about the history of Baker way back in the days, state championship appearance, deep playoff runs for Baker way back. And I know you're trying to bring him back more than anything else, but I know you know Baton Rouge is really deep everywhere, and it seems like you're trying to emerge another program in that. I tell you, man, I say that because I know Southeast Louisiana has a tough program, but the last maybe decade, Baton Rouge has just been something else deep, man. How you guys are trying to really maintain and bring back that great history of Baker and hopefully making a nice playoff run this season.
Man, we just keep working. I tell kids all the time, man, we can only control what we can control. I can't control the weather. I can't control the refs. I can't control other teams. We can only control what we do in our mindset. So every day we say we got to pay our fees, focus, energy, and effort in all that we do from the classroom to the field. If we have focus, energy, and effort in everything that we do, we're going to reach our goals. We're going to get better every day. We're going to be a consistent force in the classroom and on the football field. And again, when you talk about the program, there are great programs across the state of Louisiana, especially in Baton Rouge as well. There's great football played in Baton Rouge. Man, we just want to put our name on that list too. We just want to remind people that Baker's still here. We may have stepped back a little bit, but we're coming right. We right back where we're supposed to be. I tell all we're not worrying about everybody. We work with blinders on. We don't care about what you're doing over there. We just gonna work every single day, and we gonna get better. It's gonna be up to you if you notice it or not.
George Peppers.
Coach Dartez, first off, thank you for taking the time for joining us here on the Hash It Out Show. It's our pleasure to have you. And also,
Thanks for having
congratulations on the great start, 3-0. It's hard to accomplish, and especially with a team that's been lean like you guys have been the last however many years. It's an encouraging sign to see a young program like you guys going off to a great start. 3-0, congratulations on the great start.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Wait, is it,
Go ahead, George. You good?
he's there?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I'm looking at something. My first question, I want to make sure I get this right because I'm looking at a website that me and BK work with, and I noticed that the first three games were played on Saturday this year. Is that correct?
Yeah. Um, well, week one, we had that weather phenomenon. So we had to push our games up to we pushed it
Francine.
back into a
Yeah.
Saturday. Uh then we got scheduled when the second time
Hmm.
we had the week two weather anomaly. We got pushed to a Sunday, then pushed to a Saturday, then we ended up squeezing it in on Friday. This past week, we played on Saturday. Now, that one was by design. When I was hired, they said that they wanted something new. They wanted things to be
Okay.
different. They didn't want the same old, same old. So the first thing I did, I said, okay, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna put homecoming on a Saturday because everywhere I've been, I've heard people say, "Man, I always miss the homecoming dance." I mean the homecoming game because I work on Friday. I live out of town. By the
Oh,
time I get back in town, I get the end of the game. I only have different festivities, and I just meet up with my class on Saturday. So I said, okay, let's make it attractive for everyone. Let's make it an option for everyone. So we had the parade at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and we played at 6:30 Saturday evening.
and that was, normally homecomings in high school are usually later in the season, but for you guys to schedule it that early, that's a little bit, that's different. And look, I'm not hating on it or nothing like that. I don't, homecoming is homecoming. It's a great week. I know
Yeah.
all of us have been there. You're 3-0, and you got Northeast on Friday night. Talk about what you know about that ball club and some keys to what you guys are going to have to do to get to 4-0 and match your win total from last year.
Well, I know first and foremost, I know that they're a well-coached ball club by Coach Devin Baker. I've been knowing Coach Baker a long time, man. He's a stickler when it comes down to getting this team prepared to play football. We know we're going to be in a dog fight for 48 minutes, and we know we're going to have to bring it every single play. I know for a fact he's going to have them well prepared scheme wise. I know he's going to have them mentally prepared and focused for what's the task at hand. So I know that I got to do the same with my guys. We have to know that we're going to be in a dogfight for 4 quarters, and we have to make sure that we don't let up because at any given time that they're going to be ready to seize the moment. So we have to make sure that we seize it first.
And the way you guys beat Jefferson Rise, what does that do for your team going forward? I mean, to show that your kids showed a lot of character and adversity, and you were able to overcome that with the big rally. What does that do for a team like Baker that is so young and it's like, wait a minute, we're winning. We don't know how to lose. I mean, we're confident. What does that do for you guys going forward?
Well, actually, that was actually a culmination game, and what I mean by that, and we talked about that today at practice. For the jamboree, we had 88 yards and we didn't score. We didn't score a point. Week one, we scored two offensive touchdowns. I think we had 125 total yards. The defense scored. So the first 2 weeks of the season, we kind of leaned on the defense. The game against Glen Oaks that went in overtime, offense kind of started around, but we had great field position because our defense played lights out. Well, on for homecoming on Saturday, the offense kind of took hold. We had four drives of over 12 plays. We controlled the clock. We held time of possession. When we went down with less than 4 minutes left to go, no one hung their heads. Everybody knew that we could put a drive together. We put a drive together. We took the lead. We went for two, and our defense closed the door. We talked about that today in our team meeting as far as complementary football. That's what good teams do. Good teams, they need a drive, they get it done, and when they need a stop, they get it done. They sometimes offense may not have it, so we're gonna need the defense to hold teams to ungodly numbers. Sometimes we might not be able to stop. We may look like a sift on defense, so we need the offense to score as many points as humanly possible. And that's what complementary football is, and that's what we preach to our kids. Hey guys, we're gonna need each other. There's gonna be a time where it's going our backs against the wall. We're down, and we're gonna need to put a drive together. And our season mantra was finish, and that's all our kids have. Three games this year we've been down on the road twice. We've been down in the fourth quarter, I think 3 games in a row, and every game we have battled back and got the job done. So I couldn't be more proud of my guys.
Again, with the 3-0 start, what has the buzz been around school, around campus, uh, with this team being in a good spot at 3-0? What has the buzz been like around campus with the kids and everything else?
Honestly, I think everybody's more surprised than we are. The guys knew the work that they put in. I tell parents all the time, I am not an easy coach to play for because I demand your absolute best at all times. I'm not asking you to be good. I'm not asking you to be
Mhm.
anybody else either. I'm just asking for your 100% best from the time you step on this campus to the time you go home. A lot of kids can't handle that. I'm gonna get in your face. I'm not gonna. I don't have to physically touch you, but I'm gonna get in your face because I expect the best from you. And the kids have put in tremendous amount of work. I mean, from the dog days of summer, the conditioning, the weights, everything that we have done has been leading to this moment. So when we walk in on Monday and everybody's, hey guys, congratulations. The guys are, thank you. We appreciate it, but we expected this. We expected to get this thing rolling. We're not where we've never had a goal of being undefeated, but we know we wanted to win a whole lot more ball games than we lost. So and it's showing through in the play.
Just talking to you here, it seems like you guys have a quiet confidence about yourselves, and that's a good thing to have because other teams don't know how good you are. And that's the element of surprise. And I know you got Northeast Friday, but we look ahead to week 5, and I know coaches hate to do this, but Dunham is in week 5, and they just came off a thrilling comeback at St. Charles, and you know how good they are with Elijah Haven and everything else. That looks like your toughest game the remainder of the way. But when you look at the remainder of your schedule, what do you? I see opportunities that you guys can do some real things here and finish on the plus side of 500. Talk about the
Well,
rest of the schedule and what do you think can happen?
well, you hit the nail on the head, man. I hate looking ahead. I wish I could. I
I
wish I
know.
could give out a schedule 1 week at a time. But uh,
That would be
on
nice.
on on top of saying finish, we tell the kids the only job that we have is to go 1-0 every week. That's our goal. 1-0 every week. No matter what name shows up, no matter how many, no matter what, we want to go 1-0. But to go ahead, listen, I've coached the quarterback position for my entire career. He's one of the best I've seen in a very long time. He's probably going to be the highest rated prospect to ever come through the state of Louisiana. He's big, he's strong, he's physical, he's smart. You can't really fool him. He's a darn good football player. He's going to be a 5-star. Nothing you can do about that. We just got to prepare our guys and we just got to make it a game out of it. The best thing I got going for it, hey, listen, he has to come to us. So he has to come to 3200 Groom Road and deal with our fans. So, and that's what we're going to do. One thing they're going to know, they're going to be in a hell of a dogfight. They're going to know that win, lose, or draw, they're going to know they've been in a football game.
Coaches have expectations. Obviously, the biggest one is to get to the Superdome and play for a state title. And it's been a while since you Baker has gotten there. What were your goals and expectations that you set before the season? And where do you feel? What do you feel about your team at this juncture?
Well, man, we had a few simple goals. First goal is we wanted to make sure that we protect home field. I always tell everybody, if you can go undefeated at home and protect your home turf, man, that's a great feeling to have. The second thing we want to do, we want to get better each and every week. We're not happy with winning 2 games here, 3 games there. You know, a teacher told me today, "Hey, coach, if y'all win Friday, that's y'all will equal y'all win total from last year." That doesn't excite me. I want to see the progress. I want to see us get better each and every week. And to this point, we have. Uh, the long term goal. Everyone starts off the season with the Superdome picture in the background. You want that experience. There's nothing like it, especially for your kids. But like I said, if we take care of the little things, if we take care of home field, if we take care of handling business in district, and once we get to the playoffs and we're playing our best football, hey man, 4 rounds and you get there.
Or that's all it takes. And if I'm not mistaken, y'all I think non-select division 2. I think
3.
3. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, y'all fight. Yeah, I think y'all gonna find y'all way back up here and all that. Last question: what do you feel like your strongest asset of your team is, and going forward? And also, where do you feel like you need some work? Even though you're 3-0, coaches always nitpick it, never fails.
Right.
What's your strongest asset, and where do you feel like you need to improve to attain the goals that you're talking about?
Well, I'll start with the negative first, and
Oh,
I've said it. We've been down in the fourth quarter, 3 consecutive games. We've been down on the road. One thing I would like to see, let's stop putting ourselves in bad situations. Let's get out to a fast start for once.
yeah.
How about we spot ourselves 21 points and let's just see how the day goes from there. So we'll work on that. I would honestly say my strongest suit is our team unity. We laughed at that today when our kids come in the morning and you look to the look in our courtyard, you only see football players in a huddle together. At lunchtime, when we going through the cafeteria, you see 12 to 14 football players just huddled up, just laughing and enjoying each other's company. So they're not just teammates, they're becoming brothers. And as a coach, man, that touches you more than anything. When you don't just have a team, you have a band of brothers. When boys have put their individual identities to the side and have identified with the collective, that is something special to see. And we're actually seeing that come to fruition.
Coach VK Jones has one more thing he wants to say to you before we get you out of here.
Coach,
Okay.
Coach, I'll tell you one thing. You are doing some great work and everything else. And, talking with Jared, and he told me a lot about the atmosphere and everything at Baker and stuff like that. I wanted to hopefully down the line into the season or playoffs, hopefully we can try to have y'all as one of y'all have Baker as one of the teams for the Hash It Out Show game of the week,
Oh wow.
as a broadcast, you know what I'm saying? If it's okay with you down the line, hopefully, because we're hearing some great things about y'all and everything else. And, we know Jordan Taylor, like, it came out there, and I know he'll probably come out there again, but we would love to hopefully come out there to broadcast one of your games.
Hey, listen, man, I'm definitely for that. Listen, anything that sheds a positive light on my kids in this program, man, I am all for it. I tell them all the time, man, anything for my guys, man, that boosts them or give them an opportunity. Because again, these kids play high school football. We don't get NIL deals. We don't get to recruit. I don't get to draft kids. So the kids that come through that door, I want to make sure they have the best at everything. So, man, if you want to come on broadcast, man, hey, listen, man, anytime you want to, you just let me know. We have open door policy, man. We'd love to have you. And we're going to feed you good. Ask Jordan.
Hey,
Appreciate it, man.
hey, VK, man, we left with plates, so he ain't lying.
Hey, I think that's good. And our network, like, we are Southeast Louisiana based, but we cover not just Southeast. We cover the entire state, and we
Mhm.
have been outside of Southeast Louisiana to broadcast games, and we're looking for any kind of outlet that would welcome us, and that's why I asked, because I'm like, we always talk about, hey, let's do a game in Lake Charles. Let's do a game in North Louisiana, which we will do soon. But at the
Right.
same time, we know Baton Rouge. We know that's kind of one of the tough spots, but sometimes you might have some you know what they say, diamonds in the rough. And
Right.
I know your program is one of the diamonds in the rough that could give us that opportunity, but not just that, there's opportunity equal for the both for us and your school to get some plug and coverage that you need.
Definitely, man. Like I say, man, whenever you want to do it, man, just give me a call, you give me a holler. Man, we'll definitely set that up, man. We'd love to have you.
Most definitely. Coach Dartez, thank you for joining us. Good luck this
Man,
weekend against Northeast, and good luck throughout the rest of the season.
man, thank you guys for having me, man. We appreciate it, man. Anything that y'all need, just let us know, man. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure,
Definitely,
Coach.
Coach.
No
Thank
problem,
you.
Coach. Thank you.
Coach James Dartez, the head coach of the Baker Buffaloes. Yeah, Enoch, ain't that the truth? Great food. Yeah, man. I mean, man,
What they did? What they serve y'all?
What
let me
went
tell you.
down over
Let me
there?
tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what they served us, okay? Because I'm interviewing Coach and Malik, and Jordan's interviewing them also. And somebody came with paper styrofoam plates and everything this high. So we had 3 big styrofoam plates and 2 little small ones. So we had chicken wings, red beans, jambalaya, sausage, turkey necks, a little salad on the side. We had all that.
And VK, we got to go to Baker.
Yeah.
We got to go to Baker, VK.
I got a question, Jared. Jared,
Uh-huh.
remember, week 10 is open.
That's right. That is
Week 10
right.
is
You're
open.
right.
Week
That's
10 is
right.
open.
But so you might know who they're playing. I'm looking.
You looking? Let me know who
Yeah,
they
Bel
playing.
Air. They're
What's
playing
day?
Bel Air.
Is that a Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
That is a Thursday night game away. They're at Bel
Bel
Air.
Air?
Yeah, it's a Thursday.
That might be an option. It might
I was
be an
hoping it
option.
would be home.
Yeah, but that might be an option still. Thursday night. That could be an option. Maybe we can make that happen. We'll
Yeah, but
see.
Bel Air is not any good though.
We don't know.
We don't know. It
We'll
is
see.
early.
Yeah, we'll
But they're
see.
not. But at the same time, they're not too favorable in football. But we'll see during the.
We'll
But if
see.
we don't get them in week 10, like I said, the playoffs.
They
If
get a
they
home
do
game.
well,
It
If
might
they
be an
get a home
option.
game,
yes,
Yeah,
that might be a
might
good
be an
option.
option. The atmosphere was great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're
road
gonna
trip.
take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to start off with our top 5, ladies and gentlemen, our top 5 teams. And then we'll talk about some of the teams we saw play this past weekend right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Welcome to Bayou AV Security. My name is Rusty Mathern, proud owner and operator. We specialize in providing top-notch audio solutions, advanced security cameras, reliable internet services, and stunning permanent holiday lighting. At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. We are locally owned and conveniently located on the West Bank. As a fully licensed business, we take pride in delivering quality service you can trust. You can see our exceptional work showcased in the parade of homes. Experience the Bayou difference firsthand. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Hey y'all, this is Jen Hale from Fox Sports. You're watching the Hash It Out Show with JB the Sports Guy, VK Jones, and George Pepis.
Welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. That was the one and only Fox Sports own Jen Hale, New Orleans own Jen Hale, giving us a shout out on the Hash It Out Show. I'm JB the Sports Guy, alongside VK Jones and George Pepis. Yes, Jordan Taylor, is John F. Kennedy and ULAB on a collision course? If I have, George says no. If I got to speak right now, I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes, because right now the Shaw Eagles are just don't look good right now. They got a lot of work to do. VK, your thoughts? This is for Division II Select.
I can't agree to that right now. Because Shaw's gonna have to wake up more than anything else. But I think ULAB would have an advantage on Kennedy, just to be honest, especially what we've been seeing. Kennedy is a really good team, but we need to see a 4-quarter Kennedy team. That's what we need. Because against Saint Amant last week, and the credit I give them, they had resilience to come back to win at the end, which is important. But the fact of the matter is that they should have put the game away. They got exposed, and at the same time, I'm gonna tell you one thing. What was the difference between that game and Easton? Saint Amant got a quarterback, and he was healthy the whole game. And for him to just slice and dice the way he is, and remember, and I didn't realize that, and I'm like, that's the quarterback from last year, who was a sophomore and led Saint Amant to a winning record. So that's a huge difference in the fact that he played the whole game. For Easton's quarterback to be hurt and out. So I'm telling you, Kennedy has work to do. If they're going to be that good and have a chance against ULAB, they're going to have to try and dominate some of these teams, or not just that. If they play a 4-quarter game and have an opportunity to put a team away, they have to have that killer instinct. That's the thing Kennedy needs, especially if they got a chance against ULAB. ULAB right now is, you could say, playing at another level, especially how they got that huge win at Catholic last week.
Go ahead, George. Quickly, you say no. Go ahead.
Here's the thing with Kennedy. It was a short week off a big win against Easton. Now, what happened at St. Amant happened. You know, they struggled for a lot of that ball game. They were able to elevate late, and they were able to hold on and win that game. But again, you got to put some mitigating factors. This defense started great against Easton, tailed off a bit in the second half, and they were able to make a couple of stops late. The thing with Kennedy is the penalties, man. Against comparable opposition in the playoffs, you can't make those penalties because you're not going to advance. The talent is there. The coaching is there. But I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss Shaw yet. I really wouldn't. Look at the 2 losses. They lost to Edna Carr, and they lost to Rummel. Something's missing at Shaw. Oh, yeah, the megaphone. It's at Rummel now. But you're welcome, sir. Just pointing that factoid out, sir. But no, all kidding aside about Shaw, I think this week is going to be the telltale for me, because the Lafayette Christian team that it's really good is going to be an acid test for Shaw on the road in that building. That's going to be a tough spot. But Shaw has, to me, the character and whatnot to win that game. The thing they've got to do, Shaw, is tighten up defensively. They're not very good defensively. They've been getting gashed these first few weeks, yardage-wise. Now, you look at West Jeff, and it's a shutout, but that was West Jeff. That's a bad football team. But let's go to ULAB. They did lose to Rummel. Okay, 13-7. Defensive game. Cubs could offensively. but they bounced back with a gut check win against the reigning D1 state champion selects Catholic at their place. That University lad team right now, if you're asking me, that's the favorite in Division II select to get to the Dome and win it. I didn't pick them to win this thing before the season, but they've got my undivided attention. To beat Catholic on the road, and Catholic with the 2 wins they had beforehand against Destrehan and St. Thomas More, University High is the favorite in Division II at this juncture. Things can change, but at this moment, they're the favorite.
University also has a win against Parkview Baptist as well. A good Parkview Baptist program.
Yeah, it's a good win.
Yeah, real good win on the road. That's a huge win. You have to think Parkview has returned. So the thing is, win is a win, and you look at the resume, very, very impressive. But for Shaw, yeah, defensively not looking good, but offensively has been a disappointment as well. They have to get it going some way, somehow. There's no chemistry whatsoever. We need to see it because I said this offense was going to be maybe as close as the 97 one. We have not seen it yet, and that's not good. So Shaw has to really get it. To me, their offense is going to have to set that tone. They're going to have to really set the tone, lean toward their offense, and start scoring and let their defense do what they can to make stops. But offensively, they need to set the tone.
All right, I want to answer Anthony Branson's question. And apparently, maybe Gavin Branson is his son. They beat. Yeah, it was Woodlawn. You said Parkview. It was Woodlawn. They don't play Parkview.
Woodlawn. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I thought it was faced there early in the year. My fault. It was Woodlawn.
You're good.
All right. Here we go. You good, Anthony? We're glad you're here. How do you think Hornville's loss last week will impact the rest of the season? Also, the possible downfall of Destrehan. I'm gonna go first. Loving when y'all ask questions. I really do. I don't think that's a bad loss to Edie White. Hornville is still coming together, but we could tell Hornville is in a much better place than it has been years past. We can say that the team is playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of motivation, and Coach Greg Bowen is doing a hell of a job so far as a head coach. I see Hornville getting better and better and better each week. I think the game with Terrebonne this Friday night going to be another tough ball game between two teams, a close ball game, I think. And we'll give our picks on who wins that game tomorrow. But I think it's going to be a tough ball game that won't be easy for both teams. As far as Destrehan, it's been a couple of things. O-lineman, defensively, they're giving up a lot of points to two good teams, and one in Catholic that they let come back and win, and then Alexandria just, my goodness. So defensively, they got to work on that. Number two, when you got the injuries to a good quarterback in Jackson Fields and the running back Shane Ward, now you're limited to do what you want to do with the backup quarterback and backup running back. And I also think they're still trying to figure out how to get the ball into their playmakers' hand. And that's their 4 wide receivers: Jabari Mack, Phillip Wright, Johnny Thiel, Greg Wilford. So they're trying to figure things out right now on their end also. But I think Hornville, that loss to Edie White, is not a bad loss. Y'all lost by a touchdown or maybe a little bit less. It was a close game, a field goal. It's a close game. So I think Hornville is getting better week by week by week. Your thoughts on VK?
What you said about Destrehan, very, very accurate. Very, very accurate. I think Destrehan is going to get better. Like I mentioned before, regardless of they have injuries, regardless of the defense more than anything else. Franklin Parrish. I know we're working on trying to hopefully get the coach. I know Jared's working on that, so it's kind of shaky, huh?
Yeah, shaky tomorrow. We might have a guest tomorrow. It's shaky, but we'll rock and roll with it.
All right. But we're trying to get the coach, Jordan. If you have contacts on him, let us know. But at the same time, with Destrehan, I said it myself before the season, that schedule itself is going to help them, and they're going to get better. I will be a little shocked if things go down the tubes late in the year, because a schedule like that, a lot of times has got to make a team better, especially an inexperienced team. So second half of the season, Destrehan could be very, very dangerous. We will see. Hanville, I don't think it's a bad loss. I don't think it's a bad loss at all. E.D. White has been up there for the last 6-7 years. They've been one of the best teams in the River Parishes in the last 6-7 years. Hanville they're trying. I think Coach Boyne is doing a great job. They're trying to get there. It's going to take time. You're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to be very, very patient. This is not Neville. This is not Washita and West Monroe that's trying to get their rep back. That they're sick and tired of being slapped around. Now, Hanville's trying to get into that state that they're tired of getting slapped around. And they bringing some intensity each game. So at the same time, be patient. Hanville will get there. And hopefully Hanville will have a good season. And hopefully we'll make a postseason appearance. And Coach Bowen and Hanville will make some progress from that.
George, your thoughts right quick before we get to the top five.
All right, I know. Nick Campbell said this to us before the season started that Destrehan would lose to Hanville.
He did say that.
We all, as a unit, thought, what's he tripping on? All of us. We're like, man, really? And like, what do you know that we don't? Destrehan, after last Friday night, look, I get it. Shane Ward and Jackson Fields are out, and they're really limited in what they could do offensively. I mean, they got playmakers on the perimeter, but you got to have somebody that can get it to them. And Alexandria did a good enough job. Wasn't a great job. Gave up 28 points. I mean, they scored 45. But I think there's some red flags for Destrehan. Defensively, they don't have the same swagger or intensity that they usually do. And where they just scare the bedevilment out of other teams, they don't have that intimidation. So it looks like a very vulnerable defense. I think that could be a problem going forward. As for Hanville, that is not a bad loss. They were in front in that ball game at E.D. White late, and E.D. White grabbed a score to go in front and win that ball game 21-18. What does Hanville's future look like against Terrebonne this week? Terrebonne came back against a young St. James. They were behind a lot of that game. They came back to win it 24-21. Yeah. I mean, we'll pick the game tomorrow night, obviously, but I anticipate a competitive atmosphere there. And I saw the comparison about that Terrebonne struggled to St. James and Hanville dusted them. True, but those are elements. Now you're putting these two teams together. I think we're in for an entertaining game Friday night with those two outfits, and
You said it, elements. You said it.
And then think about it. That was a scrimmage comparing to a regular season game. And here's the thing about this week, and I'm gonna say this: watch out for these two teams in this district. They're going to try to make a move to be a contender, knowing the way he's going in the district. That's Thibodaux and that's Terrebonne. If they come out with wins this week, here's your two contenders in your district right now. Unless Hanville and Destrehan will eventually bounce back. And I'm telling you, like I said, this might be a time that some cellar dwellers are trying to make come-ups. You look at the coach at Thibodaux, improvement already in year 2. And you look at Tyler Lewis up in Terrebonne. They looking to do more than what they did last year. So trust me, Thibodaux and Terrebonne are two teams you got to look out for in that district.
All right, we got another question. Let's make this answer quick.
Let's go.
I love it. I love it. It's our good buddy Kenny Ramonde.
Yes.
He asks, "Is this week's game our game of the week? St. Charles Catholic versus De La Salle. Is this week's game you guys covering a make or break game for both, since they both are winless?" So I'll go first. For De La Salle, I say no, because De La Salle has a good chance to make up ground in district play, and I still say they're going to play Kennedy for the district championship. As far as St. Charles Catholic, yes, I think this is a make or break for them. They need to come up and get this win now. As far as district, yeah, it probably still be between them and Shaw, but I think they need to get this win now. George?
I said before the year that the hangover of losing the Cavalry was going to bug St. Charles and the tough schedule combined. So far, it looks like I'm right. They're 0-3. De La Salle, I don't think this is a make or break. I'm with you, Jared. I don't think this is a make or break for De La Salle. I think they'll be fine come district. Now they will take an L to Kennedy later in the district. I don't think I don't think they can compete with Kennedy. And they'll take nothing away from Coach Jared. He's a good coach. They got a good program there. I don't know what strong team you're watching. Tees. I saw a team that has no identity offensively and defensively. They're a little haggard. I'm not sure about them. Holy Cross put a work on them. No, that was not Holy Cross. I forgot to beat them. Anywho, St. Charles, they better win this week. They better win because 0-4 going into that district and having to face down Shaw and an improving Bell Chase, that could be a problem for them going into that district. I think the urgency is on both sides, obviously, because they're both winless VK, but I feel like more so, I'm with Jared here. I think it's more urgent for the Comets to break the winless streak here.
I got to disagree with the both of you. I think it's for both because you look at it, both teams are winless for one. Two, both of these teams played a tough schedule, regardless of what De La Salle has no identity on. Both of these teams played really good teams for the first 3 weeks. So it's just the fact of the matter is we're expecting a hard-hitting game Friday night for 4 quarters, and somebody's come out with their first win, somebody's come out with a loss. And either way, I think it's a catapult win for either team because they need confidence either side. You look at St. Charles, they're very, very young. They're very young coming in, very youthful, you can tell, but they've been in every game. And Coach Wayne Stein wants his team to finish. And that's very, very important. Same thing for De La Salle. But De La Salle is a little more experienced, but they experienced some critical injuries. But at the same time, they're looking, and it was in the game, all the games they lost, it was very, very close. But now they want to try to put it together too to get a win. Coach Jared wants to get a win in the worst way as well. So I think it's both because the fact of the matter is they need something to catapult these teams going forward. Jared, you're right that De La Salle does have a chance they do have a chance to do well in the district and have a chance at the district championship. But at the same time, for St. Charles, you don't want to come too much stumbling in a tough district. But regardless of the fact, it's either team. There's pressure on either team. You know what I'm saying? Whoever wins, anybody in the winless ball game, regardless of if it's including an even matchup, it's gonna be hard hitting, and either one needs to win. It's just something to get things started to go forward in the season.
Jordan Taylor asks, airline back-to-back weeks holding opponents to 28 points. Are they title contenders yet? Are they Division I select or Division I non-select?
Let me check.
Because I know Captain Shreve was Division I select.
Yeah, they were Division I select. Let me check them out.
Because that's going to give me a good answer.
Yep.
Because if they're select, I'm going to say no. But non-select, I'm going to say yes.
Let's see. Second. Just pull it up.
Jordan says they're non-select. So does Kenny. They say non-select. So
non-select. Okay.
All right. So here's your answer, Jordan. Non-select. If their defense can continue to hold people to 28 points, I would say yes. I would definitely say yes because their offense can score points. That's what I want to say. All right, guys. Let's move to this top 5 finally, please. The top 5 teams. Let's get into it. I got to find it. There it is. I have to share my screen. Give me a second as I get it up. Make sure the volume is down because I don't need VK's ears to be bleeding. Because last week he said it was loud. So looking out for my friend. All right, here we go. Top 5. I'm up first. Here are my top 5. In the car.
Hands up.
Rusty. Neville, Rummel, Alexander. That's my top 5, ladies and gentlemen. That's your team right there. Neville, Rummel, Alexander. How you like that? I have Rummel in my top 5. They deserve to be there. As I pause it so the sound can stop. Your thoughts on my top 5, Mr. VK?
It's a good top 5. I don't have a problem with that at all. Alexandria, I think, is well deserving of being number 5, especially what they've been doing this season. And and Rustin, you got him in number 2 and everything else. And I heard about why you had card number 1, and I can respect where you're coming from with that. You know what I'm saying? You're just saying, regardless of the fact, regardless of the resumes and stuff like that and the wins, they felt like man for man, pound for pound, and the car still the top team in the state on your top 5. So I'm okay with that. No disputing. I know mine is different, but at the same time, I get where you're coming from.
GP?
When I look at your top 5, I mean, you and I have the same 5 teams. It's just in a little bit of different order, as you will reveal mine in a few minutes. I see what you're saying with Edna Carr, and look, they did come off of a dominant win over easily and outmatched McDonough 47-0. So the eye test tells you Edna Carr. I personally have Rustin on top of them. I mean, that win at Longview and how they manicured that win, that says a lot, because that's one of the premier programs in the state of Texas at the highest level. And Rustin went in there and held those people to 10 points at their crib. That's a huge statement. Neville is Neville. I mean, they are one of the most underrated teams in the state of Louisiana. Rummel, I should have picked them last week against y'all. I really, honestly, in hindsight, I honestly should have picked them because, the concerns you brought up about Shaw. And I thought to myself, Rummel's healthy. They were nowhere near healthy last year when they played you guys at Joe Zimmerman, and y'all beat them badly. But they also learned one thing: keep your mouth shut and play the game. Stop talking your noise on IG and everything else. Alexandria, I'm not surprised you have them there because I have them there too, as you will see. They had a program-defining win against Destrehan Friday night. And say what you want about Destrehan struggles. They're still Destrehan. They still have elite next to their name. They still have state championship contender next to their name. Maybe not this year, but still, to put 45 points on that team that has been known to be a defensive prowess, that's impressive. And that got my attention. Alexandria, this side of Bunkie, might be the best team in Central Louisiana. And they have a lot to say about what happens going forward. Now, they're going to have to deal with Ruston and West Monroe. West Monroe with a humongous win Friday night. Dominant win against North DeSoto. Neville, I think, is in their district, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not. Yeah. So that triumvirate, if they could get through that triumvirate, fine, okay. I don't know if they could beat them, but if they win one or maybe 2 of those games, they're making statements. But still, Alexandria is a deserving team. This top 5 is just like mine, but a little different.
Yeah, we're very similar, George. There's George top 5.
And with the sound.
Hands up, hands up.
And there it is, Georgia's top 5. So we have the same 5 teams,
just in different order.
Just the top 3 in different order. So George, number 1 is Rustin. His number 2 is Neville. His number 3 is Edna Carr. 4, Rummel. 5, Alexandria. VK, your thoughts on George's top 5?
I don't have a problem with his top 5 either. And for him, he had Rustin on there last week, and he continued to keep him up there. They have been eye-opening with their wins, especially last week on the road in Texas against Longview. That's huge for them, and they deserve to be where they are. Neville, there's a reason why they're up there. I know Z Cheese put a comment up there about Neville. Acadian AZ Cheese. I'll tell you one thing, Z Cheese. I get what you're saying, but I'm sorry. Acadian is 2-1. They got they got 2 huge wins, 2 straight against Zachary and St. Thomas More. I get it. And the loss was to number 1 Ruston. But then on top of that, look at Neville's wins. They 2 out of the 3, they take down 2 state powers on the road. So that is nothing to sleep over. None to sleep over at all. Now, if KDN is undefeated, they will probably be in our top 5. And the car, pound for pound, they're really, really good. Rummel with number 4, they've been very awesome. And Alexandria, yep, much earned at the 5th spot.
All right. My boy Enoch, his top 5. Yeah. Okay. He has Rustin Carr, Westgate, Neville Rummel. I have no problem with Westgate being in there. As we bring up VK's top 5. There it is, right there. VK top 5. Rustin number 1, Rummel number 2, Neville 3, Westgate 4, Edna Carr is 5. So I'll go first. I don't have a problem with VK's top 5. The issue I had was Rustin and Rummel were not ranked in VK's top 5 last week. And they jumped everybody. I don't know if they were ranked 9, 10, 8, 11th, 12th. I don't know. But they jumped everybody to go to 1 and 2. John F. Kennedy was in VK's top 5 last week. They were ranked number 3. VK said, bye. See y'all. Y'all don't deserve to be here no more. And then VK had Edna Carr. I believe Edna Carr was number 2. He dropped him to number 5. So, like I said, his top 5 I don't have a problem with, but the issue I had was Carr going from 2 to 5 and Kennedy out with Rustin and Rummel jumping up so high to 1 and 2 when they weren't unranked. Explain, VK. Explain.
I would definitely explain. Alexandria is definitely honorable mention to be in the top 5. They've been very impressive themselves. I did not want to leave our Carr out the top 5. I wanted to keep them in that top 5 more than anything else. But, Carr is one of the best teams in the state. But you look at last week, 47-0 against McDonald 35. Westgate, huge victory at home against Lafayette Christian. That's why they're at 4. Neville, they got a big win last week once again. And let me make sure I get this right, especially with their schedule. It went on the road in Mississippi. They got it actually at home against Holmes County. Central High School in Mississippi got wins against Evangel and Calvary. So I kept them at the number 3 spot. Rummel, you look at their wins, and especially last week, a step-up win to get the megaphone back against Shaw, and other wins against University and also Lafayette Christian. And that Lafayette Christian basically in a neutral site game and at University. So there's nothing to sleep on.
Was that really a neutral site game?
Well,
the location.
You got to think. I say neutral site because the game was at the Dome. So what? It was in New Orleans. Still, you're not playing at all at Joe Yenny. So guess what? It's considered neutral site.
Yeah, so, it is considered, but I'm just like
technically.
Yeah, you go. Okay, I like that better. Technically, yeah.
Technically.
All right.
Yeah, but still, that's still a big win, especially the way Lafayette Christian played in that ball game. I mean, looked like they didn't miss a beat. But then Rustin, you look at their wins, and you look at huge wins for them, and then especially that big win on the road. I mean, for that program that's continuing to thrive, that's continuing to be that team. So it's just a fact that they are really just out there making just huge statements, trying to become the 2-time state champions, wins against KDN and wins against a top team in Arkansas and a Longview program that's powerful in itself. So it's about resume. It's about performance. Yes, we go. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate somebody understanding where I'm coming from. It's about week per week. It's about resume. See, some people was acting funny with me last year, talking about why you got St. Charles in your top 3. Look at
Kenwood?
huh?
You
He
mean
was acting
Kenwood?
funny. That was 1 week. You see what happened? They left the next week. They lost. So guess what happened? But Kennedy will soon be back. Kennedy's got to perform better. That's just why they're off there, because you look at everybody else's performances. That's why they're up there. Some people acting funny with me having St. Charles at the top 3, top 2, and stuff like that. Look at St. Charles's wins. That is not nothing to sleep on.
That was last year.
Yeah, I know that. No, I'm comparing that.
Oh, okay. I got
I'm
you.
comparing that. You look at this right here. I'm sticking to what I'm sticking with. It's about the resume. It's about your performance each week. And the car had a good performance against 35. But we talking about Westlake, who took down the state power. We talking about Neville, that took down the state power. We talking about Rummel, that took down a rival, a big rival in itself, in a revenge game. And Ruston taking down a big time Texas power over the weekend. So that's why my top 5 is what is. It's week for week, just like Miss Quintina just said. Appreciate it.
Well, Levance, our good guy here, VK, the only one that doesn't have Alexandria in his
Alexandria's
top
coming, bro.
5.
They coming, bro. They coming on
Me
my
and
top
George,
5.
we got Alexandria in our top 5. George, you want to respond to VK about his top 5?
Sure. But before we do, round 1 of the big series, Mets and Braves, goes to you, VK. 5-1. Atlanta has won. 5-1. Just one game, big boy. So there's still to
Hey,
play. Two to
hey,
play.
let me tell you something right now.
Anyone but Atlanta still in play.
No. Don't ever count out the Atlanta Braves. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
That's cool.
All my life since the 90s, the Braves, they made some huge comebacks. So
Still
don't ever
trash.
count them out. Don't ever count them
What's
out.
Still
up,
garbage.
Malik? Baker's
But
quarterback, Malik August, just entered the room. What's up, Malik? We had your head coach on the show earlier today. You can always go back and catch it on my YouTube channel, JB the Sports Guy. Go ahead,
now,
GB.
to decipher this top 5, I don't on the surface have a problem with it. The funny part I have is that you dropped Carr 3 spots off a 47-0 win. And you knocked Kennedy out of the poll after a short week and a win, a character win, what felt like a letdown game. It felt like because they just had the big win they had against Warren Easton, and in the manner they accomplished it. Kennedy's out, Carr's 5. Westgate, I don't have a real problem with. I mean, there's obviously other teams that Jared and I could have considered. Neville, Rummel, Ruston. Look, I agree with you on Ruston. I think that's the best team in the state, regardless of class, right now. At this moment, they have beaten some pretty good teams. And Longview, look, I don't know what Longview is going to look like down the stretch in Texas, but you would think with the pedigree that they have, they're going to be fine. Rummel, look, y'all, Nick Monica's team is healthy. And if they stay healthy, they're going to be a very, very big problem down the stretch. Neville, I agree with you, VK, 100% on Neville as far as what kind of team they have. Westgate, coming off a good win against Lafayette Christian at home. That's a very good win, and 39-28, they won their style of game. Edna Carr is Edna Carr. They do have one less game because of Hurricane Francine. That's not because of Hurricane Francine, because they canceled the game. Opelousas canceled on them. That's nothing they can control.
They canceled because of that. That was the reason at first. Opelousas just did it early. They canceled early.
Okay. Yeah, they might have jumped the gun.
But the track kept going east after that.
Right. And then we wound up getting Francine, so it is what it is. And I mean, I had Carr and
You talk about VK's top 5.
He's got Rummel 2-5. Yeah, that's a little too wide of a gap for me. But and then Ruston number 1, and the Carr number 5. Look, Carr is going to be just fine. I mean, when they get to the Catholic League, that Rummel Carr game is going to be some special when they hook up. And
that could be for the district there.
It might, but don't sleep on. Look, I know this. There's a team in there it's going to be so strange to say, but John Curtis feels like a transition team, but it's still JT Curtis, the legend, the icon. Put
And
some
I
respect on those people.
and I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't leave out any other team. I would leave out Brother Martin. Look
I
what
know
they're
that's a
putting out
well
right now.
exactly. Jesuits improved. Holy
Jesuit is
Cross is
improving. Exactly.
Holy Cross.
I really think they might be the top two in the category that could be for the championship, but at the same time, it might not get to that point. And you probably is right, George, because I'm telling you, I thought last year's Cat League was maybe the toughest and greatest we have ever seen. This year might top it. We'll see.
It might.
Because last year it was unbelievable how the play went throughout the district.
What doesn't help that argument is what happened to Holy Cross Friday night, losing 9-7 to Chalmette, a Chalmette team that got beat by 39 points to Lakeshore the week before. So that doesn't help the argument, but
What's up,
still,
Rocket?
I agree.
I see you, Rocket. I see you, baby.
You know, I see your point about the league itself. It is strong, and I don't like defining teams after one game, and comparing and contrasting and whatnot. But this is again, none of the top fives I have a problem with. I just thought the manner of which I guess Kennedy didn't pay the top five rental fee, that you kicked them out.
Nah,
and
I don't think it was like that at all. Trust me. I understand it was a short week, George, but the opportunities Kennedy had to punch the door and shut it, and they didn't do it. I'm sorry. Games like that, if you're going to make a statement that you're a state championship contender, you have to take advantage. And
dominate.
you didn't. You have to dominate. That's how I look at it.
I agree with VK on that statement, but I look at it in another way also, that Kennedy faced adversity by letting a team come back after being up by 14. They let a team come back, take the lead 29-28, and Kennedy did find a way to win still.
They did, but they almost gave it away.
Oh, I know. I'm not.
I agree with you.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Everything I said, I agree with everything you said. I said I just looked at it, I guess like I said, add on to what you said, by me just saying that they faced adversity and found a way to come back. When we talked to Linares when they beat Warren Easton, and he was concerned about that 20-0 lead, if we could be able to hold that lead. And here's another adversity thing that happened. They up by 14 in the fourth quarter, and St. Amant comes back and takes the lead. But they found a way. But I agree with what you're saying, because they gotta finish. Do not let teams back in the game. We got a couple questions right now, so we're gonna answer these questions with our fans. We'll start with Anthony Branson. Which division do you guys think will rank top and have the biggest impact at the end of the season? Division 1 select or Division 1 non-select? One of those two. I really think so. I think Division 1 select, you got a couple teams in there that can make it to the Dome. Division 1 select, same thing. VK?
Same thing. I agree. Division 1 select and non-select, they both look very, very, very good. This like we didn't see some great playoffs on both ways, but I think this year might top it. This is when they put these divisions together a couple years ago. I think this is what we've been waiting for. We're gonna see what happens in the rest of the season to the end, and when we get in the postseason, this is what we've been looking for, close to having all five classes together again, having these kind of divisions and having these kind of postseasons. Because I think we had some great playoffs last 2 years. I think this might potentially top it because of how good some of these teams are and the power points and rankings. We're gonna have some really, really dicey matchups again, and it might lead to a great championship game this time on both sides. So we're gonna see, but I think it's gonna be really, really epic if it keeps the pace that it's going.
Great, GP.
The answer is Division 1 select and non-select. I think that's the easy answer, but I want to throw this out there because I know I made some presumptions, and I think all of us were under that same impression about Calvary being a formality year to repeat. but they look vulnerable the last couple of weeks. And if I remember right, isn't Dunham in Division 3 Select?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
They
yeah,
could be
select.
a problem. They could be a problem for Calvary if Calvary don't tighten up. I mean, Franklin Parish is an up and comer, but if you're Calvary, you're supposed to win that game, and they didn't. Division 3 Select might be interesting, and Bunky, I think, is in there too as well. And they have crushed teams from the jump. They put almost 800 yards on St. Louis 2 weeks ago. And they were 47-0 on the Boyles last week at halftime, and they put the train to a screeching halt in the second half. Didn't score a point, but didn't have to. I'm guessing there was a running clock. Had to have been 47-0 at halftime. Yeah, there had to have been a running clock. But Division
Yeah.
3 Select could make an argument here in playoff time if Calvary don't get it right. But I think the obvious answer right now is one Select and on.
I guess it's Levance Williams asked about what about St. Aug? We all think St. Aug is legit. We all think St. Aug has a chance at the district championship. We're gonna find out a lot about St. Aug, not this weekend. They have Warren Easton this weekend, but the
That
following weekend.
that opens the district. That
Yeah, I
is
know. Yeah, I know. But I'm saying,
yeah.
I think the game
And
against
the
Edna
car.
Carr, October 5th, we're
Okay.
gonna find out because that right there, I think, will be a great test for St. Aug. I think it'll be a great ball game in itself, also. Um, Alson Tyler got a question for y'all since y'all were at this game. Do you think the South Plaquemines pick and fumble changed the game?
Yes, it was. I think the block kick on the field goal, it did change it, and then and
But
also the other. So he's talking about the two blocks, and
mm-hmm.
also the kickoff, and then the fumble as well on the punt return. But I think the biggest change, Austin, was the two block kicks, the block field goal that took it in for the touchdown by I think it was the song from Bell Chase, who blocked the field goal, took it back 64 yards, and then he blocked the punt to have Bell Chase at a first and goal. So the special teams came up big and forced 4 turnovers. A block punt, block field goal, also recovering a kick on the kickoff. And the biggest thing about it was a sky kick that went beyond the 10 yards and landed right on the side. You got to get it. It's a live ball. So you have to get the ball regardless. And South Plaquemines was not aware. And that was the big thing that Lara Feet was talking about, was the special teams that they need to really work on. And then Alex Phillips had a chance when South Plaque was trying to make it interesting, and he mistimed the ball and he fumbled it, and that was basically it. And Belchase just took it in and put the game away. So, the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing South Plaquemines is going to have to really work on. They do have a really nice kicker that can kick field goals, but they're going to have to really work on the special teams all around, especially if they're going to have a chance to win the state championship. They got East Jeff on Saturday, which will be an interesting matchup because the fact that East Jeff is an improving ball club and everything. But at the same time, the district so far in 9 districts has not been too strong. So we will see this week if South Plaquemines can pull this off. If they pull this off, man, I'm like, that'll be a huge bounce back for Lafayette team.
GP.
I mean, any turnover changes the trajectory of a football game, but the block punt, VK and I were on the call. I thought was offside on Bell Chase. I think their guy was in the backfield before the snap, and obviously there's no replay in high school. Talking about the guy off the edge, VK, the guy off the
Yes,
near edge
that was
nearest to us. He was in the
right.
backfield, but I'm not going to discredit Bell Chase. But I'm going to say this: the way the game flow went, Amani Wallace did a lot of damage offensively for Bell Chase, and it felt like their offense was always a step ahead the whole night. I thought South Plaquemines was up against it. They did well to stay within themselves early. The turnovers did undo them. The block kick, the block punt, the block field goal, and the obviously the lack of field awareness, situational awareness in reference to what you're talking about, BK. I think a lot of those things did them in. I
I'm
just
already
felt like Bell
Ambrose.
Chase was Ambrose. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Excuse me. I just felt like Bell Chase was a step ahead the whole night, and they were never going to lose that game. 35-12. I don't think none of us could have told you that they were going to win by 23 at South Black. That was a little resounding, but I think it was more inflated because of what their special teams did. Credit Bell Chase for out efforting them in that game. But didn't you tell me and Jared last week that if South Plaquemines beats Bell Chase, I'm gonna put him in my top 5? I think I remember you saying that.
I
And what
said
happened?
I said it would be a strong possibility, but
Mm-hmm.
that didn't
Kentwood
happen.
Part 2.
Yeah,
Kentwood
he
Part
would
2.
want to.
That would have been the sequel on the Hash It
All
Out
right.
Show top 5.
All right. Let's move on right quick. We got to get
But
out of here.
top 5 could
Mm-hmm.
change though. You know what I'm saying?
Hayden Lassard, who y'all think had the toughest schedule so far in 3 weeks? Pick your poison. Pick
Yeah,
your poison.
exactly.
Pick your poison.
Jesus.
I mean, you can't go wrong with anybody on that schedule.
Nope.
Josh says LCA has a chance in 3D D3. Yes, they do.
Yeah, I forgot they were in 3-2.
Yeah,
Yep.
they have really impressed me these first couple weeks. I even talked with Lafayette Christian basketball coach Earl Rogers about the team. Big shout out to him. I ran them Saturday at the Southeastern game, and
Yeah.
you know, I thought it was going to be a little bit of a transition, and even Coach Rogers said that too. It was going to be kind of hard, but for them to not miss a beat, and whoever's the coach there now is doing a good job having them to still compete, for them to just be in ball games and everything. I know they're just 1-2, I believe, but at the same time, they've been in every game so far this year. So give them a lot of credit. I think Lafayette Christian
I
will be
think
there in division.
you gotta wait a couple more years before you really see the difference. Just give them a couple more years.
I agree.
Exactly.
But they could
I'll
be
say
that
this.
special.
Since we're talking about Lafayette, what about the school Hunter Landry left and went
Well,
to Lafayette Renaissance?
I'm gonna get there in a
They
minute. I'm gonna get there in a minute because it is a
okay.
question. It's a question. we they got questions. What about Acadiana Catholic not in the top 5? Catholic was in my top 5 so they lost, but don't worry.
Mhm.
We just in week 4. They probably gonna pop back up eventually. Don't be surprised. Acadiana, they might get in there too. Don't be surprised. I think I can speak for all of us on that one.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Austin Tyler, what's your take on Lafayette Renaissance? I know they're coming down here this weekend to play LB Landry. I know, but I'm hearing about the points they're putting up. I think I read they have scored a total of 155 points already.
Scored 59 last week.
So this is their first year of varsity football. So hey,
Yep.
they might be for real. You know, we'll know when that game happens against Lafayette Christian. Woo! Be some bad blood in that game, bro.
Yeah,
A lot of bad blood in that one. That is going to be interesting. I wish we could have that, because I thought at first, I don't know, and now it's like that could be more interesting matchup than we thought. Because you look at, they are 2-0 on the season, 42 points, 59 points for Lafayette Renaissance so far. So Landry, wish you luck this week, man. I we'll see if they can slow them down.
All right. We tried telling people we don't rebuild the LCA. 7 straight dome trips for a reason with 4 different coaches. Hold on, let's slow that down. Ain't no 7 straight dome trips because you had to play at Tulane a couple times. Am I right, VK?
Yep.
Lost to St. Charles at Tulane.
Yes, sure was.
Sure did.
And then maybe 1 year y'all hosted also. So
yeah,
7 straight trips to the championship. Yes.
I won some money that weekend at Tulane. I was going to say a wager that Tulane. So it was very nice. Very nice day.
Yes, indeed. All right, ladies and gents, we're going to go ahead and end this show. We will be back tomorrow night, 7:30. Start at 7:30. Might start at 7:15. We'll see. But we'll be back. We don't have a guest lined up. I tried. We don't have a guest lined up. If something happens and we get a guest, bam, there you go. But if we don't get a guest for tomorrow, we will talk about some of the games that did happen this past weekend. We got into y'all questions. You know, because we appreciate y'all so much. And we will do our picks also tomorrow. VK, you got any last word?
This was a fun show tonight. It was good to have Coach Dartez and made a connection with him and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan said, probably a playoff game at the stadium, hopefully, and some down the line we can definitely hopefully go to do a bigger playoff game or something like that or whatever. But good to have him on the show, and I think this was a very good show. Thank all the fans, man. Thank y'all for
Definitely, bro.
continue
Definitely.
to support us and everything. We're getting bigger and better, man. We're getting bigger and bigger, better and better. And we're looking forward to the game of the week on Friday, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, tag, share, subscribe, continue to support us. And sponsors, you want to jump in, hey, jump on our social medias if you want to be part of this, man. We got affordable packages. So if you want to be part of this, come on, it ain't too late.
GP.
If we do a playoff game at Baker, it's probably gumbo time and turkey necks or whatever, boy. I say that for those of us with expanding waistlines, that's going to be a problem that week. But we'll see. But before I finish up, I do want to offer our prayers and hopes for the state of Florida. They are potentially facing the barrel of a monster Hurricane Helene. Every track I've seen has got it going towards the Big Bend of Florida. That's the northeastern side of the state. So hopefully y'all got your preparations ready to go. We've had to go through it ourselves with Francine a couple of weeks ago. We offer our prayers to you guys that y'all don't have any kind of crazy damages, and whatnot. And just you can replace property, but you can't replace life. So that's the easiest departure there. But looking forward to tomorrow night with pick night and to update. Jared and VK shared the best record last week at 23-8. And if VK would have picked Aaron over Landry, he'd have won the picks last week, but he didn't. So I finished 22-9. Look, it's competitive. We have fun. We banter. But at the end of the day, it's all love. And we just try to bestow what we know on you guys. And
I gotta
we
go see
thank
what
you.
Austin Tyler did with his
0-31.
Go ahead.
I'm talking noise now. But no, all jokes. Look, the questions, the interactions from you guys, it really, really does a lot for us. And we love the interaction because it opens things up. And as VK said, we are growing every week, every day. We are getting better. And um, we just continue to do great things. And 20,
Go back
damn.
and look. You're missing one. We had
Yeah, he's
31.
missing one. Hey, bro,
You're
don't
missing
cheat.
one. Go
Come
back
on,
and
man.
look.
We don't have hanging chads over here, Austin Tyler. It's not cheap. All right. So, but we're looking forward to tomorrow night, pick night. I know we don't have a guest lined up, but hey, look, we have some thoughts on some of the games that were last week. Just didn't get a chance to do it tonight, but we'll do it tomorrow. Didn't get a chance to do it, but we'll do that tomorrow night, and it's going to be another great show and some great. So, is the games as good as last week? Not quite.
They got some
I
good
mean, we
ones.
had some salty matchups last week, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's that great this week. But still, um, we gonna see, and hopefully, me or VK make a move because when the weeks count down, we got to make a move. Darren, you're 5 games ahead right now of me, and 6 ahead of VK. So keep the seat warm, my boy. One of us is
Ah,
coming to get it.
This
Keep
might
okay.
the
be a
seat
big.
warm,
Who knows? This might be a big week for us. We'll see what happens. It might be a
and
big
we
week.
gonna see up our game, right, VK?
Yes. Yes.
Z Cheese. No, I've not reached out to Coach Lockhart, but I'm gonna reach out to the AD tomorrow, ask him what's their media policies, because I'm coming in with Crescent City Sports, do a job. Um, Jordan Taylor, see you Friday night, JB. That's the plan so far. So far. There's something that can change it,
Is
but
he
as of
doing
right,
that game Friday?
no. I'm supposed to do his post game show with him on Under the
Oh,
Lights Friday, since
okay.
I'm out there. Yeah.
All right.
So as of right now, yes.
And
Appreciate
hook
it,
up.
Z Cheese.
I was gonna say hook up with your boy Holden, the show apologist, too, while you see him.
No doubt. No doubt.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. I hope your boy is happy.
Thank you, Ebony.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Ebony Washington. Thank you so much.
I hope your boy is happy. I think was it Devin. I hope he's Devin Staub. I hope he was happy with this top 5. If you was watching tonight, I hope he was happy. And Mr.
We'll
Collins,
see.
like I said, top 5 is subject to change. Trust me. In the car, we'll have plenty of shots to move up.
All right. Thank y'all for watching the Hash It Out show tonight. Please come back tomorrow. Thank you, Anthony. Come back tomorrow. We'll be on about 7:15 or 7:30. All right, depending on what time I can get out of finishing teaching my classes. But we'll be on around that time tomorrow. Make sure y'all are back right here on the Hash It Out show. For VK Jones and for George GP Peppis, I am JB the Sports Guy. We'll see y'all tomorrow right here on the Hash It Out show.
Head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching the Hash It Out show.
There's Page, the head football coach at John F. Kennedy High School, and you watching the Hash It Out show.
Trayshawn Webb, I'm a DB for Brother Martin Crusaders, and you're watching the Hash It Out show.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out show. Please like, subscribe.